Okay, well, here we go, guys. The final game of the first night of Ozone Champions Winter, brought to you by Pandora TV. And can Alienware Arena dig deep? Or maybe look to the stars for what they need to take out Samsung Ozone?
Well, I'd have to say, after that last game, their play is going to have to be otherworldly.
It will, yeah. They will have to have an invasion fleet of strategy plan. I tried it, no, it didn't work out, I'm sorry. Can I just say solution again? Yeah, there we go, that'll work.
Well, they're going with the anti-ban one more time.
Yeah, this is Kazakh's ban against Para. Respect.
Well, you have to ban the aliens against the aliens.
This is true, that's a very good point. Yeah, who else is kind of alien-like in League of Legends? Fizz seems to be an alien.
The alien Heimerdinger, but you can't play him because he's
true.
not available. Right now, on this, the reworked Heimerdinger, can't pick him quite yet. Shyvana also going down. Don't want Looper to have that one. Nidalee,
Not an alien.
Taken out of the pool. So they're readjusting this time around. Will they take the Thresh out? Because that's a much bigger threat than the Zyra is.
I would agree. I mean, we'll see. They've got that last ban, and there's a lot to consider, too. I mean, if they don't ban Lucian, will they first pick Lucian? You know, I mean, that's not really their style. They like to fight. They like to brawl. They don't like to play objective-based compositions, supposedly, but they're going to go ahead and ban the Renekton, okay?
So two of these very strong top lane bruisers taken out. They do seem to refocus their sights onto Looper.
Yeah.
In order to either force a Lucian ban or an Olaf ban. And there's the Olaf ban. So Lucian will be grabbed right up.
They are going to pick it up. They want to close the loop.
Close the loop.
So many people kind of trolling with the Shaco this season.
Well, who else are you going to troll with, though?
I don't know. Karma. There's a lot of good options.
Yeah, but Shaco's a clown. He's a demon clown, so it's more
True.
It's more amusing to troll with him.
Demon clowns aren't funny. They're just scary. They're not, you know. Like if you want funny, hover over Skarner for a while. That's funny.
I'd love to see Skarner come back. I'm hoping in Season 4 that he will make a return. But the Elise taken by Dandy, one of his staple junglers. And Thresh, of course, for mana, his signature champion, that's for sure.
Two pretty scary picks already for Samsung Ozone. And this is the trouble with the metagame shifting so rapidly right now, is that you're trying to ban against what you think they're going to play in the meta, but that means you're going to miss out on a lot of the really strong champions that, you know, they've played for a long time. And so we may see Sona Lee Sin. Looks like this time they're going to go with the solution.
The solution is
That's
now
right. Not to be
on
confused
Arena.
with the situation. He's from Jersey Shore. The solution is from Summoner's Rift. And I'd love to see a Jinx pick right here, but I think we're going to see the famous Imp Vayne, Dade on Zed. This is like a Samsung Ozone super team that we're seeing right now.
pretty much every player right now is on what you would consider their signature champion. Dandy, it's a little bit of a toss-up between Elise and Lee Sin. A little bit of a toss-up. So you can say which one is he more famous for, but as for the other three, it is Dade, Zed, Imp's Bane, and Mada's Thresh, to be sure. So Looper must play Singed now, and we've got it all complete.
I agree. I agree. And will we see that Jax pickup? What do you think about that? They don't know who's going to the top lane yet, really, unless
Jax
possibly it's Elise.
Jax is still a strong all-around pick in this patch. Not much to say about that. He's got that late-game carry potential, that mid-game carry potential.
You can buy a Triforce with him, you're in good shape. And this would be interesting, but again, remember, this is a team that really likes to play those big engaged compositions. They want to jump in on you from when you're not expecting it. And they're going to try to do that with Jax and Zac. So are we going to see like a top Zac and mid Jax?
Yeah, mid Jax.
And there it is. There's a cinch. So it is indeed the Ozone super team. Wow, okay, here we go.
I don't know if anybody else is crazy enough to give Samsung Ozone all of these picks, but Para taking that Jax in the mid lane. And so far we've seen him play Kha'Zix, Jax, and Renekton. So really a specialist in some of these melee bruisers and melee assassins.
Very unorthodox for a mid-lane player. But
no
again,
standard AP carries coming out of him yet.
Arena's not exactly an orthodox team, so that doesn't surprise me too much. But
well, again, and we talked about this before, but Para gets a lot of empty lane farm in these games, and so having a carry like Kha'Zix or Jax in that situation is actually very preferable because he can hard carry his team to victory if they can last long enough.
Very, very true. Well, here we go in the top lane. Gamsu on Zac, Looper on Singed in the jungle, Dandy on Elise, Nova on Lee Sin, and it just gets scarier from there for Ozone. Dade playing Zed, Para playing Jax.
I don't think I've seen Dade play Zed since Champion Spring.
Well, we'll see how he does. Imp on Vayne, Kite on Lucian, and finally at the support role, Mata playing his fan favorite Thresh up against Jelly on Sona. And here we go, guys, a chance for Alienware Arena to tie things up, but they've got a pretty big mountain to climb against a team they let Ozone have. Let's get in the game and see if they can do it. Nothing says exciting like Faker's torso. Oh yeah, I'd know that torso anywhere. Here we go, guys. Game 2, Alienware Arena versus Samsung Ozone Group C Set 2. And Alienware Arena, it's looking grim. And they may just face check this. Oh, welcome to the brush. Here we go. It's a big fight. Gamsu already low, gets grabbed by Thresh coming in with that death sentence. Lee Sin on the run, low members everywhere. Thresh, they pop the passive. Can they clean it up? Can they get this first blood? Everyone coming in to try to save it. There it is, and Dade claims first blood.
And they've got to be very careful. The hook is going to be coming off cooldown.
They really do, yeah. I mean, they could just turn around and grab Lucian right now. Oh, man. Well.
Oh, trying for the cleanup hook. Didn't quite make it right there, but overall,
well,
a very sloppy first play there by Alienware Arena. They were blind checking that brush with only 3 members, and Samsung Ozone had them red, and they didn't even react very quickly after the Razor Shurikens came out either.
Yeah,
it's surprising. They continued to walk in even though they did take the Shuriken damage.
It was so weird. I mean, the thing is that Gamsu now, no passive.
No flash.
He's already
no
dead.
ignite.
No flash. Oh, wow, he even used ignite. Ignite used by Para as well that game. Exhaust used by Jelly. Flash exhaust used by Mata. Let's check this out. Okay, so Dade used his ignite. That's about it, though. Ghost used by Looper. So, all in all, though, I mean, Samsung Ozone just coming out miles ahead of Arena in that level 1 fight.
That's it. Arena's going for the same thing they did last game, which is a 2-player mid.
Hey, there he is. We found him. His home.
Gets a cheer from the audience.
Yep.
But they're going for the duo lane in the mid, and this makes a lot of sense with the kind of strategies that we've seen with these kind of 2 traditional top laner compositions that Alienware Arena has been running. In the first game, of course, Zac and Renekton. In this game, Jax and Zac. And so this just allows them to get champions that are pretty safe in 2v1 situations. And it forces their opponent to pick which one they want to deal with in the 2v1, or if they want to match the duo in the mid lane.
Right.
And also could get Alienware Arena a pretty fast turret here.
Yeah, we'll see. The solution wants to knock down that turret.
Yeah, Dade went back, used his first blood gold to pick up a longsword, so he doesn't have a lot of sustain in this lane. No potions in order to deal with this. Maybe not the best first buy, actually, but he may not have, I mean, he probably should have predicted this 2v1 in the mid lane, given the Jax and Zac picks and what happened in the last match.
We do have Imp and Mata pushing that top lane pretty heavily, though. They've got good ward coverage. They've got that ward in the river and the one by blue buff, so they should be pretty aware of somebody coming towards them at least, so they can be aggressive right now. That mid lane, though, going to be a little bit of a cause for concern for Samsung Ozone. They may need to pull Dandy into that lane. We'll see.
Yeah, Finally, Nova coming up to match the dual lane right here. They need to be able to keep Para up again. He is the one who, when Alienware Arena wins, that has really hard carried this team. His CS, his lead is very important to this team's health in the late game. But as we can see,
only 2 so far. Make that 3.
Yeah, Dandy coming around now, looking to match this, looking to put that pressure down. Dandy sweeping on by. Oh, they get the hook!
They grab Nova. There's a play as well. They get it caught. Para comes in with a very nice counter strike.
3-man stun there on the counter strike, actually critically keeping his teammate alive. Nova
Para
did have
saves
to burn,
the
did have to burn his flash right there, but all of them got chunked as well. That's going to make it even harder to defend this turret. And now that Nova doesn't have that critical summoner spell, makes him a little bit vulnerable to the dive, but they have managed to heal back up just a little bit.
Oh, they do grab Para. There's the counter strike. Gets it off again. Gets very low. The repel. Is he actually going to go in? No, he's not. A little bit dangerous. Dandy fairly
Nova way too aggressive right there, and that may actually cause them to lose the turret. Dade playing much more conservatively in this mid lane.
Yep. Meanwhile, Gamsu is kind of on his own for the moment. Looper back now. No damage really to that turret just yet.
And look at that, Jelly forced to go up into the top lane in order to deal with that situation. And that's going to be a relief for Dade, who gets a little bit of farm, and maybe a relief for Dandy, too, who's coming around the backside to take advantage of
maybe a little bit more than relief. This can be some free gold. And there's the Kite uses his, yes, uses flash. There's the passive. Does a little bit of damage there. So he did handle that quite nicely. Lucian is pretty mobile in lane.
Yeah, nice use of the flash there, though, to dodge the cocoon.
Yeah.
Good read, and Dandy tried to fake him out by using the spider link first.
Yep.
But
whoa, Gamsu very, very low. Looper, a little bit crazy. Now, keep in mind, I believe that Gamsu's passive should either be almost up.
It should be up by
or
now.
Up, yeah, it should be up. If not, it's very close.
But still not a situation you want to be in that low. But now, the recall happening from Alienware Arena in the mid lane will give Dade a little bit of breathing room to hit 6 right there.
Yeah.
King's already going down as Jelly goes back up into this top lane. And they may be switching off to meet duo for duo. Nope. Just the support player trying to help out Para as he goes down to take the wolves, waiting for Samsung Ozone to stop piling the wave and actually shove it into the turret.
Two junglers meet up in the river. He's going to safeguard him. That ward gets flipped right into Dandy. Nova in trouble now. Gamsu comes in with that slingshot, gets the knockup with the let's bounce, but Dandy still claims that kill. Deathmark comes in. There's the flash. Gamsu not taking a whole lot of damage from that. They gave it a try, but Dade not quite able to pick up that kill.
Well, after the flash was used, there's just no way you can follow on Zed anymore due to the changes that happened to his kit.
Oh, yeah.
So, yep, it's going to be it for him, but they did manage to take out Nova.
Yep.
So a little bit of a win right there. Dandy now covering the mid lane after Dade's roam. And back, Dade picking up the kill, allows him to get that Bilgewater Cutlass before he comes back into the lane.
Not bad at all. On his way to getting that Blade of the Ruined King. So far, no turrets down for either side, but that mid turret is a little bit threatened.
It's going to be hard for them to all in this when Dade doesn't have his ultimate up right now.
Yeah, I think
so Dandy's coming in. Throw a little spiderling down. And Para gets grabbed a little bit up here. Yep.
Ooh, well, the Condemn push him away, hopefully, or hoping to get him against that wall instead, but didn't quite work out.
Gets a nice little combo on him right there. All 3 ticks of the Silver Bolt, dealing a little bit of extra damage. But you know, so far this game relatively passive. Samsung Ozone has a healthy lead.
Yep.
So far.
Yep.
But the tower in mid lane getting pretty darn low right now. Got to be careful about that one. Para going to be taking the blue buff this time around. This is what we're talking about. Para really the stand-up player of this team. He's the focal point for a lot of these buffs. He's a focal point for a lot of this empty lane farm. And a lot of the help, too, that Nova's been given this game has been mostly inside that lane in order to ease things up for Para.
Yeah. That said, you know, I feel like, again, in these group stages, especially since we've gone up to 16 teams, every point is way more important than it used to be. So we can see Samsung Ozone just kind of pulling back a little bit, playing it a little bit more safe, just being methodical. They get the first turret.
Yeah, however, the mid turret may be not long for this world right now. The question is there going to be a dragon play made by Alienware Arena before they can go in? And no, they're going to close in on Looper, who's at the red buff right now.
Yeah, that's right. Trying to get something done, going after Jelly instead. There's the knockup. Looper in big trouble now. Dandy gets a little bit caught there as well. Goodbye, Looper. Dandy has to repel over to the dragon. And yeah, Looper just a little bit too deep there. They got a little bit lazy. That looked like, that was like a Samsung Ozone Worlds move right there.
Yeah, I mean, coming in when you know that the duo lane's in mid, so that they're going to have at least 3 people, if not 4, if they're junglers there on that side of the map, when your duo lane has just recalled after killing turret, was a bit overbold from Samsung Ozone.
I would say so.
Dada going to go ahead and clean up the top lane right now. Dandy moves to cover mid while Looper heads back up, so putting him in that little bit of a longer lane at the moment. Dandy not going to be able to stop this tower from going down.
I bet Dada is thinking to himself, I wonder if I can work Banner of Command into this as well. Jelly gets wrapped up in the turret, and actually Dandy may be able to get a kill. There's that defensive crescendo repel as well. Dandy trying to still chase. Mata coming up as well. There's the exhaust on the kite, and Looper coming in from behind, flipped to death. He's kind of bounced a little bit.
So what happens? Dandy, a little bit of aggressive right there, and trying to get the lantern in, but there's Dade coming in from behind.
Yeah, Deathmark on the kite. He's getting very low. Dade does claim that one. Gets a friendly kick away. Nice living shadow play over the wall into the lantern. What a great play. That's the Samsung Ozone we know and love.
That's right. That's the
what
Dade.
I'm talking about, man.
That's like the level of Dade play that we've come to expect as well.
Yeah. That's why Worlds was so weird to watch, because this is what we're used to from these guys.
Yeah, the last game too was pretty well played overall.
Yeah. Let's watch that again. That was awesome.
Yeah, coming in with the death mark right here, immediately flipping around. And actually, you know, Nova does him a favor right here by kicking him out of turret range after the kill. He did end up taking a kind of an extra turret hit because of that, but Living Shadow right over the wall into the dark passage, heading straight back to Mata.
That was so clean. Meanwhile,
yeah, Parrot getting quite low there in a duel with Looper, but manages to win and in fact get that empty lane farm now that he's way far in the back. But Dandy coming around, and we've got Repel up. Parrot's gonna have to be pretty careful right here. You can see Dandy waiting in Tribrush right now to see if Parrot will dare to take it up, because he can execute him extremely efficiently. He's actually going in right now.
Yeah.
Okay, no, Leap Strike does get him out. I'm casting up the mini-map.
You are. It happens, you know, we see things going on and we want to talk about them. We've all been there. It's okay. Well, a little bit of a pause in the action in the bottom lane. Mata lurking in that brush. Like a giant killer bird.
Oh, look at that, faking him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the more fun things you can do as a support player with Thresh is do the lantern fake to make it seem like your jungler's coming and then shove people out of their zone.
Yeah.
Dandy appearing in the mid lane, that little gamble won't be working any longer. But everybody now making a move.
Oh, wow.
Onto this dragon from Samsung Ozone. Mata gets the hook.
They do grab Nova. Nova in big trouble. No escape for him there.
Not even remotely possible.
No.
And that's the thing, yeah, Nova only has that. He's got Doran's Blade and the Madrid, so.
Yeah, and that's going to open up a really easy dragon for Samsung Ozone. They're going to take that with pretty much no problem.
Well, Windows Smite, not an issue at all.
Yeah.
And just very good chain CC there. The hook straight into the cocoon. Not even a chance for Nova to escape that. If only he had had a Sightstone instead, he may have been able to live.
Yeah. Huh. Well, the pressure's on this bot lane now. Dandy is in position slightly north of where we're seeing the screen right now. And Parrot just kind of looks lost. He's like, where am I supposed to be?
Well, there's not really a good place for him to farm right now.
Yeah.
The lanes are pushed out. It's a little bit dangerous for him to farm far up that lane against Looper just because of the amount of CC and repositioning on this team. I mean, Looper, if Dandy's there, they can kill him quite easily, and we may just see that right now with Para.
Oh, Counter-Strike coming in on a Dandy, though. Gamsu is there as well. Repel over to the blue buff will save him. Looper in position.
Oh, Dade.
Little Dade face checks the bush. He's going to go ahead and death mark onto Para. Gets knocked up, though, by the Let's Bounce. Tries to get away. Does get away. And now Looper on the chase. Gamsu gets safeguarded. Still a little bit of trouble here. Para coming from behind. Looper tosses Para away. That Counter-Strike going to be ineffective now. Dandy wraps up Nova with the cocoon, and Dade claims yet another victim. Gamsu in the middle of everybody, but just can't make an impact, and Nova goes down. That was like a baseball pitch where Lee Sin was the baseball right there.
Dandy cleans up Gamsu's passive. Yeah. And they're going to get a ton of damage down onto this turret right now. The only two players left are the duo lane here in the bot. Imp and Mata going on the offensive right now.
That's right, Jelly. There's the flash play. Oh, the box misses everybody, but Jelly walks in anyway. They do get the death sentence onto Kite after that crescendo from Jelly. Imp very, very low. Gonna need those mechanics now. Dodges into the bush. Jelly chases. Can he kill him with a power chord? Kite comes in for the double kill. That did not exactly go like Ozone wanted.
Well,
he missed. Embarrassing. Yeah.
He missed most of his abilities right there. If Thresh had even hit one of those, he would have been able to clean that up.
Literally everything. Yeah.
Nice dodging there from Kite and Jelly to set that one up, and Jelly with a great counter crescendo.
Oh yeah.
So well done, and they at least traded 3 for 2 kills right there, with Imp and Mata getting a little bit over eager. Kite not even having to use his flash.
Dade's like, report bot for feed. Repot. Bot, why you feed?
Imp, why you feed him?
Worst vein NA.
Oh boy. Well, they still have a pretty substantial lead. 15 minutes, 5,000 gold.
Yeah.
They'll take it. They'll take it.
They could have like 3 more of those happen in lane and still be okay. But
yeah, Dandy going.
Wouldn't recommend it. But.
Dandy, you know, we've seen a lot of different elites, jungle elites builds today. Dandy opting to go for those Sork shoes into haunting guys again. Yeah. Home guard enchantment this time around, so he's looking to zip into lane, do as much damage as possible with his buddy Dade right there. The burst going to be crazy. Dade going in 1v3.
That's right, Dade insane, taking a trip out on the lantern. I feel like they're just kind of playing with their food at this point. Dandy has the double buffs, and he means to use them, but he may just use them to kill minions. We'll see. Oh, nice dodge on that death sentence by Para and Nova.
Yeah, they don't really have an answer to Looper's split pushing right now.
Yep.
Alienware Arena's grouping up right here, but they're not actually catching anybody, and they're mostly just reacting to the aggressive plays like we're seeing from Dade by Samsung Ozone, instead of having some better rotations on the map, and Looper getting some damage down onto that tier 2 turret right now. Dade looking like he's hungry for the last tier 1 turret that remains standing for Arena.
The vision advantage as well for Samsung Ozone is starting to get a little bit unbeatable at this point too. They've got just control over the whole map at the moment. Looper backing off a little bit. Didn't want to tangle with Para.
Well, they don't have to. They can back off right now and just let Dade Zed continue to clear turrets and split push, because nobody's actually capable of dueling him right now. As we can see, Para, because he didn't get a lot of CS earlier, 89 to 147 for our 2 champions that are supposedly mid laners, but they were also the 2 champions that were stuck in 1v2 lanes. And Dada has just been able to farm out much more effectively. He's 4-0-3 compared to 0-1-0.
Oh, yeah.
And look at that. We don't even have a phage completed yet onto Para, so there's no way he's going to beat this Zed with a Blade of the Ruin King. And there he goes in!
Yeah, death mark on the Kite. Kite trying to, well, Kite, but it doesn't end up working out. Dade back to the brush. And if you look at the items right now on Alienware, only Kite has a completed big item right now.
Looper coming in for the grab. They're trying to take down Para. There's the cocoon. Flash.
He gets out of it. They're going to repel onto him as well. Safeguard though from Lee Sin. They do kick Looper into the turret. A nice 3-man crescendo, but no follow-up right now. And Jelly is just going to get spread all over that part of the map.
Dandy actually flashing into the base to chase the enemy jungler. There we go with the execute.
That's right.
Spiderling takes the last turret hit, but what now, Dandy? What now? Take the lantern, clearly.
Worked out.
It did.
Why not?
Now, there's pretty much nothing Alienware Arena can do right now. Dade's far too strong. Once you get Zed in this position, and actually Kite gets hit by the box.
A little bit of dueling with the support there. Dandy wants some more blood. The culling gets activated, but Kite not really able to hit anything with it. Meanwhile, Gamsu looking very lonely in the bot lane.
All right, well, everybody's just going to pour it out after that one, but they got the kills they needed. Dade able to pick up even more for himself. He has a Yomu's Ghost Blade now.
Why not, you know?
When you're this far ahead, you're just making sure that nobody can ever duel you ever.
Yeah. Well, it's a 9,000 gold lead at 18 minutes now. We may be on track for another 20-minute surrender. I mean, at the end of the day, as entertaining as Alienware Arena attempts to be, they're just getting straight up destroyed by Samsung Ozone. There's a major skill difference between these teams.
Yeah, clearly, just even on an individual level from lane to lane. We were talking about this. Para's actually a pretty highly ranked challenger player here in Korea.
Right.
Ended the season, respectable score in the rankings, but not really able to compete with his rather unorthodox picks, and especially when he gets 2v1 because his team needs him to carry so badly.
Yeah.
And when in the qualifiers, when he could carry, it was quite impressive. But when he gets kind of stymied and stifled by these low farm situations, he just can't quite pull it out here. And Dade is just immeasurably far ahead.
Yeah, he's a monster right now. It's pretty terrifying. And so we're at the point now where Ozone can kind of take a little bit of a breather. They want to push, they want to close out the game, but they don't necessarily need to rush anything.
Yeah, Looper continuing to push that top lane mercilessly, and Dade sticking to his bot lane shenanigans. Dade's got eyes on him right now.
Oh,
Gotta
boy.
be pretty careful.
He's got to be careful. Everybody's collapsing onto Dade. Now Imp is there. There we go. Leeson actually coming in. The death mark onto Nova just gets evaporated. Dandy picking up that kill. Meanwhile, Gamsu comes in, doesn't really get a lot done with his ultimate, and Arena needs to back off. Meanwhile, Looper continues that split push.
Yeah, that split push isn't going to stop anytime soon either. Now, I agree with Alienware Arena's plan right there, just to group his 5 and try and deal with it, because they know they can't stop the split pushing out of Looper. They can't stop the split pushing out of Dade. So you might as well try for some sort of all-in. But again, their engages do seem a little stilted. We saw this in the first game as well, where their engages weren't as clean, weren't as crisp as some other teams in this tournament. And it hurts them once again. The kiting coming out of Samsung Ozone for the second game in a row, able to defeat that long-range Zac engage.
Yep.
Using that Yomu's to increase his attack speed right there, just to take the turret down even faster.
Yeah, it got pretty low. Scientifically, in League of Legends, a ninja can cut through a stone pillar with tiny knives. Just takes enough hits.
He's working on it.
He'll hit it until it explodes.
That's how it works in the real world, right?
That's right. Nearly anything in the real world.
Please do not try that at home.
You can punch it until it explodes. Like a tree.
No, Dylan, no.
Well.
And that's how we got sued.
That's right. That's right. Don't try anything that we talk about on the show at home. We're what you call professional casters. And Dade in a little bit of trouble here, or vice versa. Never mind. Kite. 1v2s do not scare Zed.
Fed Zed at the very least.
Yeah, he's fed. Zed's never dead. Not this game.
No, not this game, and probably not for the rest of it either. This is the thing about Zed, is that even in these situations, he's so slippery, he can kill you so quickly when he gets fed, that even though we have this Zac here to try and help out.
Oh, he wants some more, and he's going to get it. Gamsu has to pop that ultimate. Can he get away from Zed? Yeah, he can for now, but not with any dignity.
Yeah, Dot is just going to be able to heal off that minion wave very easily, though, with the blade.
Oh, yeah.
Taking out the golems as well, and Jelly is there. May want to think better of that, but with Para in the lane. But so far, he's managed to draw 4 people into this lane.
Huh. Hey, he even stole the golem. So why not? And it's just inevitable. You know, the sound of Zed's Razor Shurikens are the sound of inevitability creeping up on Alienware Arena. And Kite gets caught mid-culling. There's a cocoon as well. And, oh, Dade super low. Can Para get the kill? He's got his ultimate active. Getting back to Dandy. Dandy gonna jump on him as well. He got caught. Goodbye. Whoa.
Dade barely manages to get out of that one.
Yeah.
And Para is starting to power up. He does have that Trinity Force now, so he's going to get scarier and scarier. Dade may not be able to bully him as hard as he could before.
Yeah. Ozone just kind of playing with their food a little bit. Dade escapes.
Yeah, he's just going to get a Last Whisper now, buy it straight up.
Why not?
And the Ninja Tabby will increase his survivability against Lucian and Jax in the future.
Yep, that's right.
You know, at a certain point, though, you kind of just want to go ahead and get a defensive item. If you're this far ahead, why not just get a GA right now?
That's a good point, yeah.
And there's not... The only player with armor is Gamsu at the moment.
Yeah.
So the Last Whisper, not the most efficient use when you could just get that revive instead.
The thing is, too, is they need to be a little bit careful yet because Para and Kite both have their Trinity Forces now. I mean, there will be more damage coming in. It's not going to be enough this particular game, but you don't want to let Jax and Lucian get to late game.
Well, Danny just bought a Zhonya's Hourglass, so he's feeling very confident in this one so far.
I guess so.
And here's where we missed there. Dade uses the Death Mark kind of as a counter. Wow, look at these jukes that he's putting down. Uses the Yomus just to increase his move speed right there. And you'll notice Dandy stays around the corner to stay out of the vision just in time. Kite throws off a Lucian-y, but not quite enough.
Yeah. Really, really impressive stuff from Ozone, but it all, you know, I feel like we have to take these games a little bit with a grain of salt because Alienware Arena clearly is just not a very strong team. They made it into champions, which is great for them, but it's gonna, we still have yet to see Ozone play against a really strong team in champions this season. We'll get that soon, but
Najee and White Shield's going to be an interesting test for them, that's for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Because Najee and White Shield is looking pretty darn good these days. But ultimately, I think we can expect them to make it out of the group here and see it's not quite as tossed up. Dade gonna face check a push with Para and it's straight into the counter-strike.
Well, here we go. This is a duel, and it is pretty one-sided.
He dodged the counter-strike with Death Mark.
Wow.
So he didn't actually get stunned by that.
Yeah. Man.
Meanwhile,
Nobody can take on Dade. Yeah, and a Baron. Why not? It's Baron time.
That's right. Might as well three-man the Baron while Looper and Dade continue their merciless, unstoppable split pushing.
Yeah. 25 minutes. Arena doesn't want to give up, but this game is pretty over.
Yeah, it certainly is. Looper is tossing Gamsu around a little bit for fun, softening him up as the rest of his buddies come in from Samsung Ozone.
Zach's always kind of soft, though, because he's sort of like this viscous material.
It's true. Maybe Jelly should be playing Zach.
That's true. That's a good point. Well, welcome to the arena, Alienware of OGN Champions. And that inhibitor in big trouble. It does go down, and actually they're going to jump in now. A little bit of trouble for Gamsu here. He's in big trouble. And then Dade jumps into the back lines, does finally go down. Bloodthirsty support kill for Jelly, but there's the box. Mata activating that one. And Nova just trying to escape. Everybody just jumping in. What? Wow.
Oh, Dandy.
Nice
trying a little bit of a Zonya's bait
laser
right there.
tanking, yeah.
And they may actually not be able to get these turrets now that their main tank Looper has gone down, but they seem confident with 4 men down. There's the surrender anywhere. Coming in. So Samsung Ozone will take our last set of the night 2-0.
And what a convincing 2-0 that was. Samsung Ozone looked really, really good, but like you mentioned earlier, the true test is yet to come.
That's right. And they do have one of the softer groups, I would say, in this tournament.